the draft pick to me is they are going to be barring some crazy turnaround, they're going to get a top 5 pick.
Yes.
According to the odds, it's 48.7% that they end up in the top 5.
Okay, this is going to be my lead, but I can pivot. So since we're talking about it, you're going to get that top 5 pick.
Yep.
So then you have to ask yourself, if you're Robert and Jonathan Kraft, do you want Bill making that pick based on previous experience? Because Lord knows what position that pick might be playing based on how his draft philosophy. Second thing is
long snapper.
They are going to have the second most cap space in the NFL next season. Do you want Bill to be the guy in both of those cases that is making the decisions that affect your franchise for the next 10 years? I think you probably don't. Like those are two incredibly important and pivotal moments for the franchise. Top 5 pick, and when it comes to free agents, second most cap space available. Do you think they want Bill to be the guy who is putting the direction in place for this team for the next 10 years? Probably not.
The caps is totally irrelevant. And
Curtis,
it's not. It is. Believe me, it is. And I would say
I would say the draft is irrelevant too, but go ahead.
Their first round pick next year is irrelevant?
Yeah. And in the sense of the top 5, like
you were suggesting yesterday that you tank a season in order to get it.
No, irrelevant in the sense of like who you're picking. Everybody in the building's gonna know who they're picking. Like I don't think there's gonna be like, oh, should we take this guy from Western Missouri? I think everybody in the building.
Well, whose idea was it to take the guard out of Chattanooga?
Right, but see, that's like what was that? 18th or something like that. I think top 5, you are going to know from Jump Street. It's either going to be your quarterback or Marvin Harrison Jr. or there's some wild edge rusher that is thrown out.
The mock draft that PFF just put out has them taking a tackle with the 5th pick.
See, now that would be stupid.
That's what I am saying.
I thought it didn't matter.
Do you not get what I'm saying?
No, I do get it, but I do get the mock draft play there.
Okay. No, but what I'm saying is they're sitting there internally saying, and Curtis, I understand, and I generally tend to agree with you over Ken Laird when it comes to the cap being crap and
radio in general. But go on.
You can spend what you want. However, the way they sometimes have looked at it, I think they probably are looking at next season with that much free money as an opportunity to build the next 10 years here. And Bill's, I don't know if it's Bill's or Robert's or is the two of them together, Bill's way of building is not necessarily the way that I think they want to do it over the next 10 years.
But if
that's why I think it's the end of this season, it's farewell.
But if we all believe Robert is a guy whose voice is now being inserted, I think he comes up and goes, okay, here's what we're doing with this top 5 pick. We're taking a quarterback.
Now, here's a text, 617 text on the Subaru of New England text line that says, Bill said yesterday on your show that many people go into the decision-making regarding the final decision. Well, he said it was he and Robert, and they split the final, whatever. Texter says, I believe Robert Kraft can quietly tell Bill to take a back seat this offseason when it comes to the scouting and drafting side. Yeah. I guess he could do that.
I think it's top 5, Greg. Robert says, or they all go, we're taking this quarterback.
But Wiggy, the last time they had a pick in the top 6, you tell us you chose Richard Seymour.
Well, I had a big influence in that.
So
I'm a huge front office guy.
And to say that was just a no-brainer, if the Patriots take Terrell, the receiver out of Michigan, maybe there isn't a dynasty. They found a Hall of Famer at number 6. This pick will dictate the next 5 to 10 years of this organization. And what ended the relationship with Parcells was that Parcells wanted to win year to year. Kraft wanted to build something sustainable. There were differing points of view in how to build the roster, which ultimately led to the divorce.
And this is where you have to consider the Jonathan factor.
Correct.
So the next 10 years are... from Jonathan's perspective, are going to be, I think, his. I mean, he's going to be the guy who's running the show.
But it ain't hard, Greg. When you look at for the next 10 years, you look at where you are in the top 5. What do you need for the next 10 years? There's
You-
only
you-
one position.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
You
it
need-
is. There is one.
it's not-
If you are building,
you need a quarterback clearly, but you need to add talent.
But see, you're missing.
Wiggy, there's not a single person on this football team that
you're-
is a superstar.
You're missing the
name
point.
one.
We're talking.
Maybe Matthew Judon.
Right, but
Matthew Judon was the only guy. Matthew Judon was the only guy who even made the NFL 100.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the top 5 pick. If you're in the top 5, there's only one position that you are choosing.
Right.
If you're saying for the next 10
Right,
years,
and Bill might take an offensive tackle instead of a quarterback, or he might trade the pick and
that's a
and
fireable offense.
Okay,
Yeah.
But that's why this is important.
No, but it's not important when everybody in the room knows the most important position that we need for the next 10 years is a quarterback.
How many quarterbacks has Bill Belichick taken in the first round in his 25 years?
He's
How
never
many
been top
times
5.
do we say that it's uncharted territory, uncharted waters for Bill Belichick, though? Like, we can't all sit here and say Bill hates Mac. That relationship's done. Bill's the smartest guy in the room everywhere he goes, but then Bill's not going to pick a quarterback if he has a top 5 pick.
No, I'm not saying
that doesn't
Bill-
equate.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if Wiggy's listening. What I am saying is,
I'm listening. You're not.
Well, no, I'm not. No, you are choosing to have an argument over this topic. It's just my opinion is this: if you're Robert and Jonathan Kraft, you are looking at a prime opportunity at the end of this season, and that prime opportunity comes to you in 2 ways. Number one, you're going to have a top 5 pick.
Yes.
Number two, you're going to perceive anyway that you have more money to spend than you have in the past. You have an opportunity to then set this franchise up for the next 10 years. My question was, do they internally believe that they want Bill Belichick being the guy who is setting this franchise up for the next 10 years when he's clearly not going to be here for that long?
But
that's
Greg,
all.
but my point is this to you. If you look at that theory, which I agree with, it's simple what they're going to do with the top 5 pick. If they are looking for the next 10 years and they are in a position, the most important piece, everybody in the building and everybody outside the building knows that they need to take a quarterback. So once they take that quarterback, then they got to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do? Do we sign a guy like T. Higgins? Financially, we got plenty of money. But the top 5 pick is easy because everybody on God's green earth knows that the New England Patriots need to take a quarterback.
Okay, I don't think that everybody necessarily knows that. So
How do you not?
Because you don't
Are they
know
going to
what-
re-sign Mac?
Bill, maybe. So maybe they are.
I mean, he's still under contract next year. They don't need to resign
Maybe
him.
they are.
They
So maybe Mac Jones is going to be under contract, and it's going to be what, $5 million or whatever it is.
No, they got to pick
A
up
little
this.
bit more than that, but yeah, I mean, it's minimal money.
Okay, so maybe
they gotta pick up the 25 million?
Maybe doing business the way they're doing business, Bill might be somebody who looked at it and said, "Okay, I got Mac Jones. Let me go out and draft Harrison or whatever, or draft an unbelievable offensive tackle." I mean, that's the way the guy operates.
So
sometimes.
now you're saying Bill goes, I got Mac.
So are you willing to risk that? Well, I don't know. You're firmly convinced
Yes.
that Bill doesn't want Mac anymore.
No,
Okay.
If
I mean,
Greg,
maybe.
just be honest and take yourself out of this. If you're looking at the New England Patriots, what's the most important position that they need to pick with one of them top 5 picks?
Quarterback.
Everybody
Okay.
believes it.
Everybody knows
But you're
that.
not guaranteed when it comes to the draft of getting a great quarterback.
But nobody's saying
it's
you're
not
guaranteed. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the position.
I don't know what you're even arguing. Like the discussion is about what they believe internally, not what we believe
But
out
what
here.
do you think they
understand
believe
that?
internally?
I just told you what I think they might believe. They might believe that there is somebody better to steward the next 10 years of the franchise,
Right.
because that person is going to be the head coach and or general manager during that period of time. That's all I said.
But you're having 3 different conversations.
Am I?
Yes,
Curtis, am I having 3 different?
Curtis, listen, Curtis,
I actually don't think that Greg's crazy in this. There's a good chance that the Patriots, if they get the 5th or 6th pick and they can't get Drake May or Caleb Williams, that they take a tackle and then they sign a Kirk Cousins on free agency and ride with a guy like that for a year and see what happens. See if they can hit on a couple draft picks and then try again the following year and swing at a quarterback.
If
then.
they
Like,
do
I
that-
wouldn't. Knowing
my-
Bill Belichick, I
Right.
would not be shocked if something like that
But my
happens.
point is if they did that, that would be a fireable offense.
Okay.
I mean, just to go back to 2001, because it's the last time this organization drafted in the top 6, the reaction to the Seymour trade was people saying it was a fireable offense. Drew Bledsoe needed weapons. Honestly, I mean, so to say that there's going to be uniformity of thought, unless it's the first overall pick, I think is not going to be
All right,
the
we'll
case.
find out come April. How's that? How about we what do they say? We table this conversation till April.